before any belief can loosen its grip, there must first be a sense of safety in awareness itself. So begin by allowing yourself to arrive exactly where you are, recognizing that right now you are already aware, already breathing, already supported by something deeper than thought. You are not required to effort your way into change today. Instead, you are invited to witness how change happens naturally when identification softens. Let the body settle into a position that feels stable and unforced, seated or lying down, feeling the surface beneath you holding your weight with ease. Allow the spine to align comfortably, the shoulders to drop, the jaw to release, and the muscles of the face to smooth. Take a few slow breaths, noticing the inhale arrive on its own and the exhale release without effort, signaling to the nervous system that it is safe to let go. Hypnosis here is simply focused awareness paired with permission. As attention gently gathers, notice that thoughts may still arise, memories may appear, sensations may shift. There's no need to control any of this. The subconscious mind responds best when it is allowed to show what it carries without being judged or forced to change. Today's practice is about recognizing that beliefs are learned patterns, not truths, and patterns can loosen when they are seen clearly. Begin by noticing the quality of awareness itself, the quiet background that observes thoughts without becoming them. Sense how awareness is already separate from the content of the mind. This distinction is important because beliefs only have power when they are unconsciously believed to be who you are. As you rest in awareness, imagine thoughts like words written on a screen that you can see clearly. They may comment, evaluate, or label experience, but you are the one seeing them. Now gently bring to mind the idea of beliefs, not specific ones yet, just the sense that the mind carries many assumptions about self, others, and the world. Some of these beliefs were learned early in life, absorbed from family, culture, authority figures, or repeated experiences. They were not chosen deliberately, and many were formed to create a sense of safety or predictability at the time. Acknowledge this with compassion. Old beliefs were often useful once, even if they are no longer helpful now. There is no need to fight them. Begin by inviting one mild, familiar belief pattern to come into awareness. Something not overwhelming. Perhaps a quiet assumption such as I have to work hard to be worthy, or change is difficult, or I am a certain kind of person. Let one pattern gently surface without searching aggressively. Notice it as a thought or phrase rather than as a truth. As it appears, observe how the body responds. Is there tension, contraction, heaviness, or emotion associated with it? Simply notice. You are not trying to fix or remove the belief yet. You are learning to see it clearly. This observation alone already reduces its unconscious influence. Now bring curiosity to the belief. Ask gently, without demanding an answer, when did this first appear? You do not need a specific memory. Simply notice any impressions, images, or feelings that arise. Often beliefs formed during emotionally charged moments. Notice how the belief is tied to sensation or emotion rather than logic. This is why arguing with beliefs rarely works. The subconscious does not release patterns through debate. It releases them when emotional charge dissolves. As you hold the belief in awareness, imagine creating a little space around it. You might picture the words floating slightly farther away, or becoming a little lighter or less solid. Notice the difference between seeing the belief and being inside it. You are now relating to it as an object of awareness rather than an identity. Gently introduce a reframing not to replace the belief, but to loosen it. You might silently acknowledge, this is a learned pattern, not who I am, or this belief helped once, but I am not required to carry it now. Say this softly, without forcing belief in it. Notice how the body responds when the belief is seen as temporary rather than absolute. There may be subtle relief or openness. Now imagine that this belief is written in sand at the edge of the ocean. With each exhale, a gentle wave comes in, not aggressively, just touching the words and slowly softening their edges. You are not erasing the belief with effort. You are allowing it to loosen through repeated exposure to awareness. Each breath is another wave. Notice how the belief naturally begins to lose sharpness when you stop gripping it. Stay with this imagery briefly, allowing the subconscious to absorb the metaphor. The subconscious learns well through symbols like this. Now shift attention back to the body. Notice any changes in sensation. Perhaps tension has eased slightly, or breathing feels more open. Trust small changes. Transformation often happens incrementally, beneath conscious expectation. Now, gently introduce the idea that if a belief is not absolute, then alternatives exist. You do not need to decide what the new belief is yet. Simply allow the possibility that there are other ways of seeing yourself and the world. This openness is enough for today. Imagine the mind becoming more flexible, like a muscle learning to relax after holding tension for a long time. Flexibility does not require certainty. It begins with curiosity. Now allow another belief pattern to surface if one arises naturally. If not, stay with the first one. There is no need to rush. Bring the same process of observation, bodily awareness, and gentle distancing. Notice how beliefs often repeat as inner narratives, stories about who you are or what is possible. When you see them as stories rather than facts, their emotional charge begins to dissolve. This is disidentification. You are not suppressing or denying experience. You are recognizing that thoughts are events, not identities. As this realization deepens, you may sense a quiet space opening inside, a sense of possibility or neutrality. Rest here for a few breaths. This space is where new patterns can emerge later. You are preparing the mind, not forcing change. Now imagine a future version of yourself, not specific or detailed, simply a sense of you moving through life with less constraint from old beliefs. Notice the posture, the ease of movement, the way decisions feel more fluid. You do not need to imagine success or happiness dramatically. Simply notice the absence of heaviness where old patterns once lived. Allow this image to float gently in awareness. Pair it with a simple suggestion, such as I am free to update my beliefs, or I am not my conditioning. Repeat it slowly once or twice, letting it land beneath analysis. Notice how the subconscious responds to permission rather than command. If resistance arises, meet it with compassion. Resistance is not failure. it is another protective pattern trying to keep you safe. Thank it mentally and return to gentle awareness. Over time, resistance often softens when it is not opposed. As this session continues, recognize that you are not required to identify and fix every belief consciously. Many patterns shift simply by repeatedly noticing thoughts without claiming them. Awareness itself reorganizes the mind. This is supported by self-hypnosis traditions and modern neuroscience alike. The mind becomes more flexible when it feels safe and observed rather than judged. Before concluding, take a moment to acknowledge the part of you that learned beliefs in order to survive, belong, or make sense of the world. Offer appreciation to that adaptive intelligence, then affirm gently that you are now allowed to grow beyond those conditions. Change does not mean rejecting your past. It means updating it. Begin slowly returning awareness to the body as a whole. Feel the breath, the surface beneath you, the space around you. Notice how you feel now compared to when you began. There may be a sense of lightness, neutrality, or quiet clarity. Trust whatever is present. As you prepare to re-enter ordinary activity, carry with you the understanding that beliefs are patterns, not truths, and patterns respond to awareness. Throughout the day, when a familiar thought arises, you can notice it as conditioning rather than identity, allowing a little more space. This is how change becomes effortless. When you open your eyes or lift your gaze, do so gently, knowing that you have begun loosening old patterns not through force, but through insight, safety, and the simple recognition that you are not your conditioning.